this is about the Nobel Peace Prize. Now, if you remember, if there's one man who has been wanting a Nobel Prize for the longest time, it is Donald Trump. He believes that because he stopped 7 conflicts, as per his own claims, he should be getting 7 Nobel Prizes. But now, today, that announcement is going to happen, and it's going to take place at around 2:30 today. The Nobel Committee, whose members are elected by Norway's parliament, award this prize that is established under the will of the Alfred Nobel to the person who shall have done the most or the best work for the fraternity between nations, the abolition or reduction of standing armies, and for the holding and promotion of peace congresses. So here, Donald Trump is expecting a Nobel Prize. There are leaders too who are saying that yes, he deserves it. What's going to happen today? Big day for Donald Trump because, he is watching in anticipation. Here's what he said.
Is that nobody in history has solved 8 wars in a period of 9 months. And I've stopped 8 wars, so that's never happened before. But they'll have to do what they do. Whatever they do is fine. I know this. I didn't do it for that. I did it because I saved a lot of lives. And that's the thing that bothers me so much about the Russia-Ukraine. 7,000 people are dying a week. Young soldiers. They're almost all soldiers of Ukraine and Russia. So in theory, it doesn't affect us, no, but it's a terrible thing. And we'll get that solved too. But nobody has ever done 8 wars. Nobody's done 8 wars in 30 years, let alone 9 months.
All right. So my colleague Rishabh continues to stay with us. Rishabh, what's going to happen at 2:30 today? Will Donald Trump get the Nobel Prize that he's been wishing for? And like many are saying, give one to him already.
Well, 2:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time is when we'll hear who gets the Nobel Peace Prize. This is 5:30 a.m. in Washington, so it's going to be a sleepless night for Donald Trump for sure. 8 wars he claims. Every week he's adding 1 war. Yeah, last week it was 7 wars that he has stopped in 9 months. Now he is claiming 8. We just heard him saying 8 wars. He has included the Gaza Israel truce as well now, and says that 8 wars I have stopped. And there is no one in history. This is what Donald Trump says. There is no one in history who has stopped 8 conflicts in a period of 9 months, and hence he should be given a Nobel Peace Prize. Netanyahu has said that, Asim Munir has said that, and there are other leaders also who have said that Donald Trump should get a Nobel Peace Prize. But whether he'll get a Nobel Peace Prize or not is a $1 million question. It's a matter of 4-5 hours now that we'll see. But yes, in Hindi, there is this very particular song from the epic Ramayana that Yahi Raat Antim, Yahi Raat Bhari. So this is the last night that Donald Trump is waiting for. 2:30 is the time when we'll hear the Nobel Peace Prize in next 4 to 5 hours. Washington must be waiting in anticipation whether Donald Trump will get a Nobel Peace Prize or not, because the one he competes the most, Barack Obama, got a Nobel Prize. There are other U.S. presidents also who have been awarded Nobel Peace Prize
but I don't
in
think
past.
So any president or head of state who we've seen has so openly lobbied for a Nobel Prize, if that's the right word to use. Donald Trump again and again and again has said that I deserve the Nobel Prize. I should get the Nobel Prize. Look, I have ended 7 conflicts, 8 conflicts, and I should be considered for it. There are others too who are rooting for Donald Trump for his Nobel Prize bid. One of them being Benjamin Netanyahu. Now, let me take you through a post that Donald Trump just, put out. This is what he was, citing. Thank you, Washington Post. Wow. Now, this was an opinion piece about, the Nobel Prize. And here, Donald Trump now says, thank you, Washington Post, because the piece over there talks about Donald Trump and the bid for, and his bid for a Nobel Prize. So going across to my colleague Rishabh, who continues to stay with us, as the focus is going to be on what happens today at 2:30. So Rishabh, what is going to happen today? You've been telling us that yes, it's going to be a sleepless night, a lot of anticipation in the Trump administration and the Donald Trump camp. But if we just go by, go by the way things have been happening over the last many months, is there, I know nobody would know, but, what is the chatter that you're gathering now that the build-up, now that, the Nobel Peace Prize will be announced at around 2:30, is there any chatter that you're gathering about what's likely to happen?
Well, see, how is Nobel Prize announced? Nobel Prize is not announced as an Emmy Award, an Oscar Award or Academy Award. It's just one line statement that comes in from the Nobel Prize Committee, which says that so-and-so has been awarded Nobel Peace Prize for this year. This is how when Kailash Satyarthi and the Pakistani girl, I'm blanking on that name, Malala Yousafzai got the Nobel Peace Prize. So this is how Barack Obama, when he won the Nobel Peace Prize, happened. There was no halla hangama, there was no pomp and show. One line statement that comes in from the Nobel Peace Prize Committee, the Nobel Prize Committee for that matter, and we have seen it in the last 4 days. The Nobel Peace Prize for Physics, Chemistry and Literature has already been announced, and now they are announcing it for the Peace Prize today at 2:30. There won't be
because we have former diplomat Veena Sikri with us. Good morning, Ms. Sikri. Donald Trump has been pitching and pushing for a Nobel Peace Prize. Today at around 2:30, the announcement will be made. How do you analyze this development with Donald Trump making this claim again and again and again that I deserve a Nobel Peace Prize, I have stopped so many conflicts, I should be the one to, to get a Nobel Peace Prize? What do you think will happen?
Well, let me tell you, there is one very important technical factor which nobody has, which is that the last date for nomination for Nobel Peace Prize 2025 is 31st of January this year. And by that time, there was not a single nomination for President Donald Trump. So I think just on that very important technical ground, because the Nobel Peace Prize Committee is very particular about the last date for receiving nominations, and by 31st January there was no nomination for President Trump. There were nominations for people like Imran Khan, there was nomination for Elon Musk. Those people for one person today. I don't think that the Peace Prize are there. I think
all right, we have a bad line with you, Ms. Sikri. We will try connecting once again, but we also have former Ambassador K.P. Fabian with us. Good morning, Mr. Fabian. What do you think is going to happen today? And just as a former diplomat, what is your analysis when you see the President of the United States constantly make a pitch for the Nobel Peace Prize?
Thank you. The point made by Ambassador Veena Sikri is absolutely correct, the technical point. But let us look at it more holistically. First of all, a person who nominates himself and who constantly asks for it in public should never be given the Nobel Peace Prize. Secondly...
Heartbroken if he hears what you're saying.
Yeah, it should never be given. Secondly, I would say that in the current context, the prize should be given to the hundreds of journalists,
all right,
health workers, NGOs,
right,
and the UN workers who were killed in Gaza.
Right.
They should be given the prize.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Fabian, for weighing in with your point of view. With that, we also need to shift our focus to another big story that